Hello, everyone. Welcome to twitch.tv/The Onyx Path. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he and they. And when I'm not running games, I'm writing them. But today, I have the extreme honor and pleasure of running part two of Scion Dragon's Jumpstart, Live by the Blade. Couple quick things I want to make sure that I bring up before we get too far into the weeds here. One thing that I want you to be aware of is that the Curious Cats of Mao will be starting on BackerKit very soon. It's a new crowdfunding campaign bringing the Monarchies of Mao into the second edition of Pugmire. We've got a BackerKit site set up right now so you can go and register to be notified as soon as that campaign goes live. You're going to want to get on this right away. It's wonderful setting. If you're not familiar, it's basically fantasy role playing, but you're playing anthropomorphic cats. How much cooler can you get than that? Head over the link, set yourself up to be notified, and find out. The other thing that I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of is that we've had a big release this past Wednesday over at Drive-Thru RPG. We dropped a whole bunch of resources for Trinity Continuum Anima. Wallpapers, VTT assets, and story guide screens, both for Cascade and for Terra Surge. So everything you need for all aspects of the game is available up there. I'm going to throw a link to the blog post over at the Onyx Path website that contains all that information, and you can head over there and pick those up. That, I believe, pays the bills for us for this week. So our next step is we're going to kind of recap where we were at last session, and then we'll introduce everybody and get to how we got to where we are going to start this session. You'll all notice that while I am floating in a void, there's also a void up there, one of those, where Haley would be floating, but she's on vacation. So have a wonderful vacation, Haley. We miss your face. So at last session, our brood of heirs had gotten together and were called upon to attempt to intercept an artifact called the Sword of Damocles. This was being taken by the heir of a dragon to their lair so that their Draconic master might devour the sword, and therefore subsuming its iconic power into itself, and also sort of robbing the outside world of the true knowledge of the sword and potentially the entirety of its legend. So naturally, this is a bad thing that a particular scion from the Egyptian pantheon had is interceding on behalf of their loyalty to the purview of knowledge, wanting to preserve this knowledge. They've asked the brood to go in there, prevent the dragon from consuming the sword. The brood then investigated, caught up with the heir who is carrying the sword, and after some quite creative and borderline slapsticky shenanigans in an airport in Mogadishu, they thought they had liberated the sword, only to find that the person that they were working alongside the whole time had taken advantage of the cast to steal the sword for herself. It was revealed that this ally was also possibly an heir to Kazim Aziz, the dragon who is hoping to eat the sword, and might have been screwing everyone over to try to gain favor with their draconic master. The person who you'd initially been pursuing, a draconic heir by the name of Sky, basically offered to you, like, look, I know where they're going. It's in my best interest to stop them too. You come with me, we can head them off at the pass and hopefully, prevent the sword from, falling into Kazim Aziz's hand. All Sky cares about, so she claims, is preventing her rival from taking the credit. She doesn't care if you all take the sword when it's done or not. And her rival is Rosamine Dela Cruz, who you had been working with. Because Haley's out, I will drive Michaela this session. And we're going to, when we last met, the Brood was on their way to a library in Mogadishu, which had recently been destroyed in order to make room for a larger building. So right now it's basically an empty lot, and there will be a library being built there. But Sky revealed to you that any destroyed library can serve as a passageway to Lemuria, the lair of Kazim Aziz. Therefore, you can head that way and probably even beat Rosamine to the dragon's lair. Maybe set up even a trap for her. In the interest of bringing things together swiftly and not going through a whole ton of rigmarole to get the band all in one place, we're going to assume that you all were able to establish contact with an ally, Stefano, who also happened to be in the area. Stefano is joining the Brood at the library ruins to offer some assistance in this, figuring what you went through before and the fact that you're going into a draconic lair. You figured it was a good idea to get a hold of some muscle, and Stefano has that in spades. So, that is the story as it sits before us. Before we dive in, I would like to give everybody an opportunity to introduce themselves. Let's start off with the newest person to join our motley crew. Cal, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would care to promote.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Cal. I usually go by Neo Cal in the chat and TikToks and Discords. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Stefano. Maybe it's just the way that the book is written, because everything's gender neutral, but they use they. So maybe Stefano is uses they, them.
I believe Stefano does use they, them pronouns. I believe that is accurate.
Yeah, because in the description, they stick to that. So they use they, them. Yeah. Oh, where am I? You can find me on Dork Tales channel. They do tabletop RPGs, and we're doing Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages right now on Wednesday nights. And that just started up. There's only like a couple sessions in there. That's been fun. As for me, you can find me in Laser Comb Productions, like LAZORCOMB. And what I do is I review Transformers, everything. We just did Transformers Monopoly.
Nice.
I still hate Monopoly, but it's better than most Monopoly. I think I landed in jail 4 times and passed to go once. So good times with Monopoly.
That's too realistic for Monopoly.
Yeah.
Way too realistic, right? Way too realistic. Oh, well, the other person did. The other, my recording partner did great. And generally, like 90s shows. A lot of Reboot, a lot of Beast Wars, a lot of random episodes that we review of TV shows that have finished in past decades. And yeah, if you're interested in that, just look for Too Much Energon or the Laser Comb podcast. And I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the channel.
Thanks for being here. And thanks for bringing up Reboot. I had a story for another time, but I had the worst illicit substance experience of my life watching an episode of Reboot once.
You know what? I can see that. I can see that show being a real bad trip.
Wasn't
You know,
a good
Just
idea.
uncanny valley enough.
I don't think anybody's going to say something more Canadian than that in this whole stream.
And I'm not even, oddly enough, I'm not even Canadian.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that was very Canadian. That was Letterkenny levels of Canadian.
It was bad. I was 14.
So I was watching Reboot the other day.
So I was watching Reboot. And
doing some illicit substances.
It took some acid, and it did not go well. Yeah, pretty much. That's
Thought it was Megabyte stuck in mainframe.
Tony J's voice became like synesthetic up to my neck, and I was it was like a hot tub and a massage chair.
I tried to reboot, but I didn't have an icon.
I kept poking myself in the nipple, and it like I got a bruise there to this day.
I had the Control-Alt-Delete hands I was doing for. It was bad. One day I'll tell the full story, but probably not on the stream. And
I picked something up. I said glitch.
Speaking of illicit substances, no, that's not a good segue. Kevin, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns.
I can't have illicit substances. My porphyria will kick my ass.
I feel both good and terrible for you at the same time.
Yeah, that's, can't have the good stuff, can't have the bad. I'm Kevin Zarnicki, Kevin R. Zarnicki, if that matters, because there's a Kevin Zarnick out there, and he's a dick. Him. What else? I write RPG stuff. I do voiceover. I do consulting on a number of other things that probably don't have a place on this channel. Or maybe you just wouldn't take me seriously if I did, but I make more money with occult work than I do with everything else combined. So whatever. In terms of where you can find me, I masquerade as a target card on Facebook, which I know none of you use anymore, but I still think it's more wholesome than on X Corp run by Emerald Mine Air, filled with bots. But there you can find me at Necromancy 101. What else? If you are by any chance interested in taking any lessons or getting introduced into the industry with coaching for RPG development, writing, or voiceover, you can find me at kevin.r.zarnicki, just like the name, at gmail.com. Aside from that, I'll be having a meeting tonight about a new streaming channel that I'll be joining. And we got a lot of new stuff coming out for Shadowrun. I just can't talk about it yet because NDAs are a bitch.
Well, we will keep our ear to the ground for new Shadowrun.
If this thing keeps going, as soon as I'm allowed to talk about it, I'll be telling you about it, because this one's gonna have some good stuff. We've got some new talent. Some of them are my graduated students, which I'm just proud papaing over so hard. That's somebody
cool.
Said, doesn't that mean less word count for you? And I was like, do you have any idea how good it makes me look in the industry that like great writers are coming up and they're like, oh yeah, Kevin taught me that. I'm like,
exactly. It's a immeasurable value in street cred. Speaking of Shadowrun.
Somebody's like, how do I know you're not ripping me off? Because if I put you out there before you're ready, I look like an asshole. So
valid.
I need you to be great.
Valid point. Definitely reach out to Kevin if you're interested in coaching in those areas. Very talented and well-studied, studious fellow that Kevin is. Can give you a hand in getting your stuff together. Also, now that Blue Sky has opened its doors to the general universe,
unwashed masses,
are you heading over there?
I have a Blue Sky. I don't use it a lot.
Same, man. I was like, yeah, Blue Sky, and then
look. Here's the thing. Okay, let's just and I don't want to delay us getting to Crow because he's awesome. But let me just for a second. Social media is really sucking the fun out of life, let alone being in the arts, because I mean, Facebook, at least I could keep track of my friends and like write big old articles. And there was something to that. And then I lost my first account because it was hacked and somebody put something horrible on it. And they don't have a help desk anymore. They have bots. So they didn't listen to my appeal and I lost the old account. And that's why my new one is a target card. You'll never know it's me. It's just a target
We do live
card.
in a different time. Like
We
I'm so tired of social media. That's why I'm like, I don't know, PM me on Discord.
Yeah. I have an
I
Instagram that my social media manager handles. I've never touched the damn thing. I don't know what's on it. I have a Twitter to stay in touch with 4 people, but I don't advertise there because everybody advertises there and it's all internal stuff anyway. So I don't really see the point in saying pick me from a crowd when I'm already backstage.
Speaking as someone
Um,
who has taken over recently some expanded responsibilities in social media, I understand and empathize with your plight. I certainly do.
so now everybody's like, blue sky's new. And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't mean I can leave my old. And my plate's overflowing as it is.
I
So,
it's fun. The water's fine. Come on in. And speaking of
all
the water
right.
being fine and coming on in, Crow, please, your pertinent
We're all going to
details.
flirt with Crow, aren't we?
That is true.
What does that segue mean? The water's fine and come on in.
We're all
Crow.
flirting with Crow. Is what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, step
That
into
is-
our virtual hot tub.
You're not
That
quite
is-
my type, Crow, but I get it. I do get it.
I have never got that sort of intro before or segue, so I'm for it. I'm into it. Hello, hi, I'm Crow, Corvus Crow. He, it. I am with team Blank Slate and also the Corvus Crow channel on YouTube and Twitch. Currently, I am playing with Nerds with Dice. We're doing our Black History Month game, basically doing Living Single with Monster of the Week, the house that M built. I am playing with the lovely Janie Potts, Hark Marper, and Shawnee Groove. I will also be later on, I believe in March, we'll be doing a Scion game. I'm looking at my people in the background for like a confirmation. Yes, we're doing Scion. Um, it is basically designed around, if you watched it recently, a certain new anime that just recently came out, Solo Leveling. So we'll be based off of that. And we're going to be playing with some new mechanics. Also, I am doing some other things with Onyx Path, like currently our game jam that is currently running. If you have not
Hell
signed up for
yes.
it or started doing anything for it, what are you waiting for, baby? You only got a few more weeks.
It's true. It's true. The time is not on your side. I mean,
is
you got a little while, but and funny enough, earlier today, Liam was on the channel talking about the game jam. Unfortunately, because Liam lives in Australia and time zones are complicated, he streamed an hour earlier than he was scheduled. But so if you missed that, if you're wondering why you missed Liam, go check it in the VODs. I'll be there. And if it's not in the VODs, you can hang out. It'll be up on YouTube shortly. And I will bring up the link to the Nexus Game Jam because that is something that everybody should be getting involved with. And now the
People keep bugging me about that, and I'm like, I've never done anything like that. And they're like, no, you have all of your like your homemade systems and stuff like that. Go do it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't even know what it is. Somebody hold my hand or push me.
well,
I'm trying to rediscover non-commercialized joy in creation. So somebody's like, Game Jam, it's free. And I'm like, free? I spent 2 decades establishing that my ideas have value, and now you just want me to give it away? Pick a direction.
well, on the bright side though, you can charge for your releases in the Game Jam, which is amazing. Go get paid for your work, 100%. And secondly, if you're not familiar with how to do Storypath Nexus, how to handle community content at all, or how to work with the Storypath system, the folks that are running the Game Jam, Crow included, have been kind enough to donate some time to give some tutorials and how-tos, and those videos, like I said, are in our VODs for subs, and also are or shortly will be over on YouTube.
I
So
want to point
perfect
out,
excuse to get in on it, Cal.
we did not set that up as a systematic way for him to sell that. It just worked out that way. But I want to say, well done, everybody. That was crazy.
Everybody, give yourselves a round of applause. And then let's dive into our story. Since we've been here for 25 minutes, probably got to get to the game. So, as I mentioned earlier, you all were heading to the ruins of this library in Mogadishu. It's ruins is a strong term. It's a construction site, really. You are
Unruined.
an unruin, a re-ruining. I don't. I'm sure there's a technical term for it.
The opposite of ruin is creation. So they're
That's fair.
building.
So you are traveling with Sky, and she takes you to this place. That is where you're going to meet Stefano. Is there anything that any of you would like to prepare, do ahead of time, reach out to, try to accomplish before you head into the Terra Incognita of Lemuria? You're heading into a dragon's lair. The only thing that you know about it for sure is that it contains all sorts of things that have been devoured by the dragon throughout history, and that the central building of the lair is the ruins of the library at Alexandria.
So is the dragon a real dragon?
The dragon is a full adult inheritance 12 dragon. Big nasty fella.
You know how we're like dragons in progress? This one is a dragon what has progressed.
Right. You are it is the final form, one might say.
They earned their wings. Okay.
Well said.
Okay.
I think I'm going, since we're already on the plane and I'm already stressed out because this is going to take a lot longer, and I had just scheduled a viewing party of maybe the legal or illegal art sort, and now I have to postpone that by possibly an hour. Um, I'm going to tap into the past and try to get some intel, but also regain some but it's not legend. It's
Regain your inheritance?
Yes.
Excellent. So you have a series of callings that are listed on your character sheet.
Yes.
And those are how you access your memories. Now, again, for clarification, you didn't have to get on a plane to get here. You just walked or took a cab over to the ruins. So, and
That's right.
what is your so what are your callings?
It is healer, mystic, and primeval.
You're mystic and primeval. Excellent. Give me just a moment.
Definitionally, it feels like an ancient concept dragon would be primeval. Just in the dictionary sense of it.
Yeah.
Remember, it's 118 to 119. There we go.
Also, I just want to have an excuse not to bump into Stefano, because the last thing I need is for them to tell me that I've dressed too fancy for the occasion and I'm not prepared for a fight. And they probably have a tank top on and some form of athletic wear that is, I guess, appropriate for whatever conflict that they're going for. But I feel, this new outfit that I put on is perfectly all right.
Oh, yeah. Who doesn't love it when their little chocolates are wrapped in gold foil?
How did you know I was using gold foil?
Lucky guess.
How did you know he had chocolates in his pockets?
Exactly.
I hacked the information. I don't know how I know that.
So with primeval, if you invoke the memory, you can declare that a place of power or significant source of a specific element or substance is present somewhere in the vicinity, and you can gain an enhancement on unopposed rolls to find or access it for the scene. You may specify a type of place or source, such as a touchstone, fresh water, but can't declare specific ones, such as touchstone that leads to my hometown. So right now, that one might not be of great use to you because you are at a touchstone that leads to Lemuria. So there's already a place of power there. Now for Mystic, you may use one spell you don't know in any dragon magic form other than a flight specific one once before the end of the scene, plus one additional time per current step towards cipher from center. So right now your remembrances are all centered. So you just get one use of any spell if you evoke that mystic's memory.
Cool.
Healer's memory. Your blood gains purifying properties as you declare your ancestry anathema to a baleful source of a single supernatural corruption or sickness. You may provide enough blood to purify one target, living or otherwise, with a simple action by accepting a bruised injury condition when you invoke the memory. So these are some things that maybe you might want to wait until you're actually in Lemuria to invoke.
That's perfectly fine then.
Unless you have something specific in mind you'd like to try to do with it.
No, I was just basically prepping before we have to go in,
Sure.
and I'm kind of putting a certain hacker in the hot seat and allowing them to have to actually socialize. This is hilarious to me.
And that's fair.
I'm great at socializing as long as it isn't true.
Some creative applications of memory.
I think that's a nice way to put it. Redistribution of truth.
Right on.
So I choose to see myself as a creator of truths,
And is
with
there
truth being subjective.
are there any truths you wish to create or other preparations you wish to make before heading into the Terra Incognita Fabian?
Well, I had that shitty player idea. I noticed I have World Eater and I could just eat the goddamn sword my damn self. But then I thought, wait, that's a problem. We're trying to prevent that. So apparently I have more in common with this dude than I thought. How does this
I think
dragon
you're of the
identify?
same flight.
Yeah.
You're
This is a male identifying dragon?
yes. Yes.
I
he
didn't plan
is.
on saying that today. That's a cool thing to get to say. No mockery. Like that's
Yeah,
What a world.
I believe he is a Joka, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
Joker. It's like the New Orleans version of the Joker.
Yes.
Like Batman.
Or like a Boston version.
Boston.
Yeah,
The Joker.
that's better, yes.
The fucking Joka kid.
The Joker and
Um,
Batman fighting in Boston. Sign up for my voiceover classes.
There are some people who suggest that Gotham might be Boston, which makes it hilarious when you think about like Batman having a like
It's
fucking like a
it's
rich
an-
Boston accent, so he sounds like John F. Kennedy.
It's an alternate universe, Gary, Indiana.
I mean, that's fair.
I will explain this after the game. It actually fits. Anyway, what does Joyous Revelation do? I'm not entirely sure what it does.
Joyous Revelation?
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to like give us secrets.
You should be able to when you look at your sheet.
It says your draconic nature exalts when you succumb to the power of memory. When you resolve the revelation condition and you assume your draconic form, you may choose to gain enhancement instead of additional dice when you spend momentum. Enhancement gain this way applies before you roll. But I'm not sure what that enhancement necessarily goes toward or what this thematically means.
So that would be effectively once you have undergone a memory and then you have resolved the condition that goes along with that, then that unlocks that ability. So you have to trigger a memory, resolve the condition that comes along once you've triggered the memory, because every time you trigger a memory, you get a condition, and then it unlocks your ability to be extra badass when you're transforming, basically.
Okay.
Because you can take on a draconic form. In your case, it's much less like I'm a huge big dragon, and much more like I'm tiny and have dragon-like, features. But yeah,
Shadowrun Drakes.
closer. Yeah.
Sure.
He's just a little baby.
I'm just a little guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do a thing. I'm gonna eat that sword.
I mean, it's a one-shot game. I can afford to be a total self-sacrificing wonker. This isn't Requiem where I care. So you mentioned that I'm a similar flight potentially to our foe. Is there
Could be.
anybody got any ideas of how we might be able to use that?
What flight are you, Joka?
I don't know where to find that.
Let me check.
It's I don't want to hold things.
Oh, you're
up.
serpent.
Okay.
Yep. So no, I was thinking because you had that same thing that you might both be Joka.
Gotcha.
But no, so yeah, you're a serpent. But having said that, so yeah, that would be a thing that, like, again, you can trigger a memory, and if you wanted to trigger one now, you could. Most of the effects that you get for triggering a memory last for the scene. So you'd probably be better suited to do that once you're inside Lemuria, especially because there's all types of the things that you do know about Lemuria. Again, as I mentioned, the Library of Alexandria is kind of the central building. You do know that there are people there. There are like societies that Kazim Azizi says has eaten over time, and so those folks are there in a fashion. So there are people on this island. There are
memories of them.
All sorts of the fractured fragments of them, all sorts of relics and whatnot lying around too. So that might be another place where triggering memories might come in handy.
Weird question.
Sure.
If you kill the dragon, which I don't think we can do, but in theory, if the dragon were destroyed, would all of the things that it consumed be re-released into the world, or are they gone?
That's a good question. Hard to say. Would they be instead distributed to the next nearest heir in that dragon's line? That may be the case. Would
You
they
can make
be
a whole campaign out of that alone?
would they be distributed
cool.
to, has the dragon left their lair to somebody? That's a thing that might be an issue, right?
That doesn't
Finders
apply to
keepers.
us. Yeah, that doesn't apply to this game. But
Does
the
that
narrative
dragon
potential
does that
is pretty
dragon have a
cool.
will that causes an entire campaign's worth of subterfuge as people get into a contest to try to win the contents of the will?
And who's there trying to kill every last inheritor until there's none and it's all released back into the world? And what terrible secrets have been lost that were better left forgotten?
Those are
How
all
to
possible.
take down billionaires 101 next session.
You know what? I don't care what else comes with it. I'm in.
Yes. So
It's the only way to redistribute wealth. Take the dragons down.
My character is basically Antifa the dragon, so I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Is it theoretically possible? All the things you mentioned are theoretically possible. Is it likely that you're going to be able to kill this dragon? No.
Yeah, no. That's
No, I
just me being
believe-
curious.
I believe the plan, at least as Sky has suggested, is to avoid the dragon at all costs and try to get this situation resolved before he notices what's going on.
So take down rival, grab sword, make sure Sky doesn't backstab us, GTFO out of Lemuria, redeliver sword back to original employer whose name I forget.
It's supposed to go back to... Where's he hiding?
And then go back to the Winchester and wait for this whole thing to blow over.
Ramon Hernandez is who originally hired you.
Right. Okay.
All right. No additional prep or anything like that. How about for Stefano? Is there anything Stefano wants to be sure to bring along or prepare before you go into Lemuria?
All right. I'm gearing up, grabbing, body armor if I can, grabbing a couple Uzis, getting my boys armed up because it says I have pawns 4.
Awesome. Okay.
And that's it.
All right. So your pawns 4. That
Look at these guys not even trying to kill a dragon. I almost went Boston there. Look at these guys not even trying to kill a dragon.
These fucking guys. Are you a dragon?
Are you a
Are
dragon?
you a dragon?
Does it list tags next to your pawns?
It does. Hope you're not a dragon. Heavy defensive group savage tough.
Awesome.
This ain't
Okay.
reality TV.
All right.
It's all just The Departed now. It doesn't even matter.
Departed.
So heavy
Infernal Affairs,
defensive
Boston
group.
edition.
Heavy defensive group. Tough right? And then what was the other one?
Savage.
Savage. Awesome. Okay. So a couple things that you will want to note. You can either write it in your notes or just anywhere where you can keep track of them.
Okay.
Your pawns will have +1 defense. They will gain 2 enhancement on any roll meant to harm someone.
That was +2 enhancement.
Yep. They are a group of, we'll say, 5 individuals. And that will allow you to, if you choose, you can take a mixed action and have them do 2 things at once.
Nice.
And they also all have +1 armor.
Storyteller.
Yes.
There is something I want to do.
Sure.
Since I'm going to make sure that there's going to be some chemicals in these magazine bullets.
Thanks for the hydrate.
So I'm just going to make sure that they're not exactly Dragonfire rounds, but they're definitely will, if fired, they will basically perm someone's hair.
Right
if they
on.
get hit.
I mean, what's your do you have any, like, you have significant wealth at your disposal, right?
Significant wealth and some specialties in chemicals and some firearm stuff.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to acquire
Oh yeah.
some phosphorus rounds, that would be conceivable. What are your paths?
My paths.
Yep.
Aesthetic alchemist, bespoke armorer, and tortured artist. And I like to make art in a very torturous fashion.
Those are all
Aesthetically.
thematically named, very appropriate for you.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
On brand.
I think the I think maybe let's have you roll a social attribute of your choice.
Ooh.
And let's mix that with your we'll evoke your aesthetic alchemist in order to do this, right? Because
Yes.
not only do you want to make these bullets go boom hiss, but you also want them to look fancy and flashy and stylish while you do it.
Yes.
So go ahead and give me a. In fact, yeah. In this case, let's do a social of your choice, and let's mix that with your choice of science or firearms, whichever you feel is best applied. You could do firearms and engage your chemical specialization for an enhancement, or you could just roll the science.
Firearms and add that chemical specialty.
Right. So then, yeah, give me your social plus firearms, and you have an enhancement of 1 on it. And let's see how that.
Is that enhancement? Is that additional die or just like a success?
Enhancement's an automatic success, yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. So with 3 successes, that is clearly sufficient enough for you to create, we will say, a magazine's worth of phosphorus rounds. Now, you're not presently carrying a weapon, correct?
I do have the pocket pistol because it was just like, I get it, Stefano. I have to carry something that's self-defense, even if it clashes with my outfit because I can't change how it looks.
That's why you have the shiny nickel-plated.
Exactly.
handgun.
So, are you going to fire phosphorus rounds out of your deuce? Is that your plan?
Yes, but you've already worn
You
this
could just
outfit.
you could
It's
just
done,
flick
isn't
matches
it?
at people. I mean,
I'll just.
Or you
I'll
can
just,
give it to me.
I'll
You
just
can give it to me.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to give it to them, don't I?
I'm just
Wait,
waiting for you
I'll
to
give it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My hacker friend, I love your ideal. Give it to them and then upcharge them later. This is why I love your brain.
This was
Capital.
my idea.
Yes, I love your idea of capitalism. We
Oh,
love
okay.
it. It's on brand. Okay, I'm good then.
All right.
I'm seriously waiting for like the dragon's breath to come out, look like a dragon, and just two hobbits pop up. That was good. Let's do another one.
So we will say that will add the aggravated and brutal tags to the gun.
Okay.
So if you want to note that down on, again, among Balagan's notes, that you have those bullets that add the aggravated and brutal tags. And what that means is it's cheaper to buy a critical stunt by 1 success. And with aggravated, it is grievous damage. Aggravated injury conditions are things like burned off completely and melted flesh, and can only be healed by magical abilities. Oh, I'm sorry, that's expressly meant for magical and supernatural sources of injury. You used alchemy, why not? We'll make them out. We'll make them aggravated. Break all the rules, or bend them at least a little bit. And then your the actual, you said you were going to get Uzis, right? So I'm going to
Yeah.
throw in the Zoom chat the stats for your gun.
All right.
And I accidentally posted it twice. My bad. And then you wanted to get a hold of some armor as well. Now, are you planning on grabbing these for everybody, or are you planning on just grabbing them for yourself?
Well, it depends. How close of friends am I with?
I mean,
these
it,
guys?
it would probably make you a sad panda if they purchased
Yeah.
agricultural real estate ahead of their time.
Well, you know, they're helping me, so I'll help them. Why
Wonderful.
not? Let's get them some
So we'll
body
say
armor.
each of you gets a Kevlar vest,
Ooh.
and that has these traits. Also threw those in the Zoom chat. So
Oh.
soft 1, which increases the difficulty of the inflict injury stunt against you by 1, makes it a little harder for somebody to hurt you. It's concealable, so nobody will see it. It is bulletproof and weighty. And so what the resistant means that it ignores the piercing tag on any weapon that also has the firearms tag. And weighty means that if you perform extended feats of labor or sleep in it, you have to make a athletic stamina roll or deal with a fatigued condition. So, don't dig any ditches or sleep while you're wearing the armor. So you're all able to armor up Stefano, and your allies are able to gun up. And was Balagan going to keep some? Was Balagan also going to make some rounds for their own gun, or were you just making them for Stefano's?
I'm probably gonna make some for my own gun as well.
All right. This does eat up about 2 hours of your prep time. Having said that, though, the flight that Rosamine was on is a 4-hour flight, so you're still 2 hours ahead of the game by the time you all show up. Arms to the teeth with a gang in tow.
And what were the additional tags for that? The alchemy
Oh, it was
magazine.
aggravated and brutal. So the aggravated does the terrible supernatural damage, and the brutal reduces the cost of your critical stunts by 1.
Is there any chance we can get some like just alchemical explosives in the similar vein? Not necessarily ammunition, but like alchemical Molotovs or something.
Yeah. I would say with the successes that you already rolled, you can generate one. Otherwise, if you would like to make another roll, if you'd like to take another hour, so you only have an hour head start on them, you could make a batch of them. It's up to you.
If y'all are willing, I've
What's,
got telekinesis and basically invisibility, so nothing's stopping me from getting close and planting a little surprise. But
What's it says under avarice, it says stock your hoard.
Oh, yes.
What does that mean?
So,
Seeing if that can help with
and that's
the
avarice.
idea of making some sort of magic bomb.
Stock your hoard, right?
Yeah.
And is that listed under your Nax, or is that under
That is
purviews?
spells / dragon magic, but on the Roll20 it's under purviews.
All right. So that should
Yeah,
be
spells / dragon magic on the page. It's like looming presence, paralyzing gaze, stalk your hoard, avarice.
There we go. Yeah, I think that's because it's your it's because of your flight that you have that.
I gotta fix my plug. I'll be right back.
For sure. There we go. All right. Stock your hoard. You may spend one inheritance, which on your sheet is listed as legend. And in doing so, this makes you steal more easily. So if you're stealing from a trivial target, you automatically and without risk steal any one object you could reasonably carry with you. If you're stealing large objects like statues or yachts, or stealing from characters of your own tier or higher, the spell gives you +3 enhancement to actions taken in pursuit of the theft.
Oh, I see. At the end of this, like small, like at the end of this, it has all of our stuff listed. I just found that now.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to. Oh, okay. Got it. All of our character stuff is detailed back there.
Yeah, I copied everything from.
So it's like a stealing thing, right?
Yeah,
right.
It basically just makes it easier for you to rob folks.
Cool.
As is tradition.
Where were you last time?
Incinerate. All right. So how much time do we want to?
Do you want to take that extra hour to make some Molotov cocktails, or do you want to just run with what you've got and hope for the best? Like I said, I'll let you get one more in without spending any extra time.
Okay, you can get one more in if it doesn't take any extra time.
Molotovs.
Molotovs.
Right, you have one Molotov that has the same properties. Effectively, it's aggravated, it's brutal, and it's thrown as its other property.
Sweet. Domo arigato gozaimasu.
Happily. All right. So, with that being said, I have also created a little pawn character. I'll make all your rolls for your pawn and whatnot, but now you'll have one. We'll be able to represent them on the map.
All right.
I'm just gonna throw one over here for now. Yeah, there's your little pawn buddy. Look at that. And then, as we move over into a place where it's more of a tactical concern, I will bring the full lot of 5 of them. Once everyone is assembled and you've got your arms together, Sky turns to you and says, okay, this touchstone is going to put us inside the city limits in the front courtyard of the library. Chances are good there will be folks, there will be Lemurian citizens roaming about, but also Kazim Azizi uses members of the 9th Roman Legion as security guards, and they will be guarding the entrance. I'm pretty sure I can bring us in somewhere undercover, but we're going to have to think fast on our feet when we get there. And with a crowd this big, hopefully we'll be able to pull it off. And she walks over into the center of where the library stood, puts her hand on the ground, and growls out a guttural phrase in the Draconic tongue. As she does, you're surrounded by mist. The mists at first overwhelm your vision and then slowly begin to fade. And as they do fade, they reveal a large paved area with marble obelisks running along the length of it. You all appear kind of hiding behind this obelisk. I don't know if you can see where I'm pinging, but I will drop your characters in where you are momentarily. I want to make sure I got you all in the right place and layer.
Pretty sure the Roman Legion doesn't have bulletproof armor. We should be fine.
I was going to ask, have they been updated over time, or are they armed with like forgotten weapons that the dragon is consumed? So they've got like alchem, like Greek fire and stuff, or
This guy says, funny you should mention Greek fire.
oh boy.
Bronze armor and slings, right?
Among other things, yeah.
Yeah, but like Greek fire bullets, I mean, we're getting into Pathfinder territory now.
There is y'all. Here are your pawns.
My token kind of looks like Arnold Vosloo, the mummy.
Yeah.
A little bit of a mummy vibe.
Yeah, a little bit of a mummy vibe.
Some Zartan vibes.
All right. So you all kind of appear huddled around this this pillar. You can clearly see a couple of the Lemurians kind of walking about. They don't seem to have noticed you yet, but a couple of them are fairly close to where you are. You can see where I pinged on the map. So first things first, I'm going to have everybody go ahead and give me a roll to see if you can sneak, hide, avoid, notice, so on and so forth. This can lean on your choice of subterfuge, survival, or athletics.
All right, survival.
We are going to assume, in the case of Stefano's pawns, if Stefano makes the roll, Stefano's pawns have made the roll.
So like dexterity and survival, perhaps?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
All right, how do we roll using this?
So you Straight Path is a skill forward system. So customarily, you'll click the name of the skill that you want to use. It should prompt you to ask what attribute you want to pair it with. And then it will ask if you want extra dice. The answer to that is always no. It should be prompting you for enhancement. I'm told it hasn't been, so I will file a bug report on that. And then you'll just roll, and if you have enhancement, we'll just manually add it after the fact.
And I don't know if that's specialties or how it works, but it says urban.
So the way specialties work in StoryPath is they are complementary, right? So you wouldn't gain any benefit for using it with survival, but for example, if you wanted to lie to somebody about
Right.
how dangerous the city street is, you would get enhancement on that because of
You
your
use them with the other skills.
right.
Right. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
momentum is a group resource, right?
Momentum is a group resource,
Okay.
and you currently have 4 in the pool.
All right.
So I'll pop that over in the Zoom chat too. That's a good thing to keep a hold of. Now there are certain things, spells and the like, that require the use of momentum. Momentum generally must be used with the whole group's permission. But if you're activating a knack or a spell or a power that calls for momentum spend, that does not require group approval. You just can spend it.
Okay. Much as I have something perfect for this, I also have really good dice for subterfuge and dexterity. Are there any additional dice on that? I can't remember how that works.
No, it would just be your subterfuge dex.
Okay. So, yes, let's see how that goes. Righty Rooney.
Okay, looks like we got 3, 2, and 3. Excellent. I just need to make a quick check here for our good buddy, the Lemurians. All right. So, while Stefano and their allies, their pawns, are able to all hide pretty effectively, as is Fabian.
And it's Reese.
Reese, that's correct.
We got that great escape thing, Hilts. Let's just keep it Hilts.
Baligan, you sort of like scrape your foot as you're sort of scampering behind the column, trying to get out of sight. And that draws the attention of one of the Lemurians. And they sort of turn around and call to their buddy, and the two of them begin walking over this direction. They have not called for any assistance. They're just kind of investigating right now.
What was that noise?
Right. So
Italian loafers.
you all do have the drop on them if you wanted to try to take them out quickly and quietly. You can attempt to do so before any sort of initiative is rolled. They know there's a noise over there, but they don't know what the nature of the noise is.
Yeah, let's take him out quick and quiet. My guns aren't quick and quiet.
They're one of those.
I could use I have an ability that lets me blend in perfectly, so I could just like step out as a blended in infiltration thing and just be like, so sorry.
Must have been the wind.
If you'd like
What
to.
was that noise? Must be hearing things again.
Yeah, if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to.
All right. Any objections to spending a momentum?
Go for it.
All right. I will use let's see. Eyes in the Blinds.
Eyes and blinds. Excellent. And
Yeah.
does that cost some momentum to activate?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Eyes in the Blinds. It's Unobtrusive Visitor.
Okay.
Or which one is? I felt like I had one that made it where like I blend in, but it's not that I'm invisible. It's that I belong.
Right.
What's your character's name in the PDF?
Fabian Reese.
Yeah, unobtrusive visitor. Yes, it means that they overlook your presence. It does not, however, make you look like you belong there specifically.
Yeah, my mistake.
Unobtrusive visitor, you can just kind of walk around unnoticed.
Yeah.
Fade away would allow you to hold still and become invisible.
Right. It's many shades of invisibility. It's not disguise.
Right.
Okay.
Let's
Is
see.
it are any of the visitors like contemporary looking? or does everybody have this like lost apocrypha feel to them?
Oh, they all look ancient in their fashion and dress and you know what they're carrying and whatnot.
Yeah, so you'll
Within-
fit right in. Just walk around the corner and
Well, I assume that the draconic minions of our foe dress in a contemporary fashion. Is it conceivable, using my character's knowledge of the setting versus my own, that I could pass myself off as one of those minions?
As an heir, you can certainly give it a shot. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a world eater.
Yeah.
Oh, whoop, that felt 40K. Okay, so yeah, I'll try and lie, and worst case scenario, we have to fight him anyway. So I'm going to try my subterfuge.
Remember, the one thing that you can do is before you do that, you do have the disguise power underneath your illusions purview, which that's what lets you. You can imbue an inheritance and disguise up to 2 people or objects, and the disguise remain even after you leave their presence.
Someone had to bring their crew.
Perfect disguise. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to eating those words, by the way.
and then they won't exist anymore.
They'll get et. They never existed. Okay, I will go ahead and use that. If there's anything I have to.
Nope, that's just imbue an inheritance. It lasts for a day. How would you like to disguise yourself, and who else would you like to disguise?
I will disguise Balagan as a stealthy group is only as good as the noisiest member, as every rogue who ever went with a plate mail paladin knows. So I will disguise Balagan, gesture for the rest of the crew to like just hang back, and disguised, step out. We're gonna go for like would scholars belong here? I don't know if infiltrate bureaucracy is a good specialization to have here, if that gives me any insight.
I mean, you can certainly give it a shot. Having some visiting scholars, based on who you've interacted with so far, you're able to easily approximate the sort of demeanor and mannerisms that you've seen, like from Sky and from Rosamina.
I'm gonna go for a disguise that suggests we are Draconic heirs of this particular line.
Okay.
Sort of just fit in with that aesthetic. I think.
Oh, you're not going to transform into like a loincloth and a bronze spear?
Normally, I'd like to, but that means I'm going to have to understand their like shorthand and orders and schedules. So if I'm like, stormtroopers don't question where Darth Vader is going. So I'd rather be Darth Vader than a stormtrooper or an inquisitor if you want to go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good call.
Yeah. So I will roll. Let's see, subterfuge plus manipulation.
Sure.
Additional dice. Anything for
No.
like the disguise or infiltrating bureaucracy or anything like that?
Infiltrating bureaucracy is under what skill?
Subterfuge.
And you're rolling subterfuge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the specialty doesn't apply.
Right. Okay. So submitting, yes. Bloop.
And is Balagan doing anything to assist with this? With this
definitely.
ruse.
Culture. Basically, Balagan knows how to fit into any sort of social environment. So he's definitely adding that and helping with this performance.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me a culture manipulation for Balagan as well.
Yeah.
And looks like we got 3 successes for Reese. Additional 2 for Balagan. As soon as the Lemurians sort of step over and see the 2 of you, they're like, "Oh, sorry, we heard you. We didn't mean to interrupt your business."
What do they think they walked in on here?
Seriously, just an imperious
Business.
look. And as you were,
Of course, of course. They start walking off, and then sort of make their way around this next pillar over.
I have a sneaky suspicion we could actually walk in the open at this point because they're with us. So Baligan and Co could just be our pawns, and or not Baligan. Sorry,
Stefano.
I'm bad with names in real life. Okay. So Stefano and their battle entourage could easily just be our minions, guests, contacts, whatever.
Sure.
Bodyguards.
Yeah. So we could easily like just walk in the open and social sneak.
Sky says the only problem with that is they may recognize me, and that could prove difficult.
Then, darling.
Pull up a hood. Just
Change voice. Then how about you go ahead and hide in the corner, or go pretend to do your other order for a little bit?
Says, all right, I think I can sneak along.
Well, what if we go and we sneak along and, you go and talk to them, but talk to them so that those guys out in the middle are facing the other way. And then we just kind of,
I think we can provide a social distraction.
yeah.
Totally.
All right. So then the idea being that Baligan and Reese would walk up and engage the Legionnaires while the rest of you sneak along.
Yeah.
Okay. Approach the guards, and now that I think about it, approach them. Is security especially alert today?
The Lemurians, as you walk over to them, kind of point over to the Legionnaires and say, they're really the ones in charge. We just are trying to be mindful. We're under the impression that something big is supposed to be arriving today.
Very wise of you. May I recommend that you take your business elsewhere from here?
Actually, I have a problem. And he just kind of walks around like he sees a few flaws, and he also inspects their uniform as if he's seeing some flaws there. They don't have the thing.
Well, the two that you're speaking to at the moment are basically citizens. The Legionnaires are the ones who would be in uniform, but they are headed your direction. So if you wanted to try to is this maybe a subterfuge role, and then do you have a specialization in culture?
Mostly in visual arts.
Okay.
Well, dazzle them.
Yeah, I would say then. Yeah, this would probably be subterfuge manipulation, probably.
Yeah.
Teach them how to actually march.
Can I make this present? Because I want to make this
Presents would be fine.
So much on us.
Where's the bounce? Where's the flounce?
Presents would be fine, and you can also actually gain 3 enhancement on this roll by virtue of the disguise that you're under.
Cool.
And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
Feel the music. The war drum should be your heart.
exactly.
All right. Give me that culture presence roll, please. Or subterfuge presence roll, please.
One second.
Awesome.
4 successes.
Plus your 3 enhancement. So
Yep.
You don't need my help.
it comes
That's
to
a really good roll.
that comes to 7. So you can basically dictate how this interaction is going to go.
You just see him. Like he just does like the large clap. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary folk. I'm inclusive. Come, come, come. Don't make me wait. I'm not seeing movement from the feet.
They all start kind of rushing over to you.
That was 2.5 seconds too long. I'm going to have to take some feet, but that's for a different day. And he just looks at like the largest one and then looks down at his feet. Now then, I'm noticing a few flaws. We have a very special occasion coming on. An item is coming here. I don't see the decorations. I don't see the uniforms in check. And I'm seeing that one of you is eating gluten.
They kind of look at each other confused, and they're like, you can tell that they really want to please you, but they don't have the foggiest idea what you're talking about.
All according to plan.
Which takes extra attention. Nothing makes you ponder like a what?
Exactly. The rest of you, should you so choose, can easily just kind of scoot past them, past the pillars, and down to the doorway to the library. Before you see the ruined facade of the Library of Alexandria. It's pretty hard to miss. So you all kind of rush that direction and basically make your way to the doors unhindered. Now, how long are Balogun and Reese going to keep up this facade? Are you going to let them, are you going to wait till you see your companions enter the library? Are you doing something else? Do you have any?
I will keep an eye open. Very unobtrusively, the sweep eye where you look at so many things, people don't notice you're looking at something specific. Damn kid and kindergarten cop. And as soon as it looks like they're where they need to be, I'll give Ballerin the tap. We're already running behind. This will have to wait for later.
Yes. And he looks down at like the bigger guy's feet again. You get to keep your toes for today.
Thank you.
But you all have 5 minutes to go and get the decorations, the items ready, the sacrificial virgin ready, and then if I catch you eating gluten again, your fingertips and toes won't be the only things leaving you. Now rush off. You have 30 minutes.
They scatter. They run off in different directions. Two of them almost run into each other, and then it's like a farcical sort of scattering of the guards, leaving you both the freedom to roll right up to the door if you so choose.
As we're walking, I give you an inch and you create a mile. That's beautiful.
Oh, it's going to be chaos because by the time they get to the final version part, they're going to be trying to sacrifice each other. Let's go.
Good luck. Good luck finding a virgin.
With that, you make your way into the library. Now, Stefano
reminds me of a maze from Pokemon.
A little bit.
The one with all the self scope.
Oof.
Like the those like moving escalator puzzles.
10-year-old with 23 years of experience. This is what companies are looking for now.
Yep.
I make some adjustments here to my map. And bring y'all to where you should be. So you will be coming in the door on the southern end. Is there anything that Stefano and or Stefano's pawns would like to do before the others arrive? Now, keeping in mind that you are still that Stefano, you are traveling with Sky as well, which is the actual heir of Kazim Azizi. So anything specific? Sorry, I'm using two mouses and it's super confusing. Yeah, anything specific, Stefano, that either you or your pawns would like to do in those few moments you have before the others catch up?
Okay, so it looks like there's no one in the immediate entrance.
No, it is currently appears to be unoccupied.
Okay. I'll just order the group of identical AI girlfriends to spread out and like move quiet and cover each other's corners. And you know what? Maybe there's something to this going unseen and holding back until we're absolutely necessary. And no point moving in without waiting for the other two to catch up.
Yeah,
Or,
sneak attack
y-
is even better with a claymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You do notice Sky steps in a little bit further as you are sort of falling into a formation and starts like disengaging magical wards on the doorways and like shutting down various sorts of sorceries. She doesn't really explain herself to you unless you say anything.
What's all that magic jazz you doing?
She says the library is heavily secured and under deep scrutiny. I don't want to rouse any suspicion from either Kazim Azizi or the guards when we spring our ambush.
Okay. Magic stuff. Got it.
Indeed. A few moments later, the rest of you get there as Sky is sort of disengaging the final wards. She says, well, we've got, by my count, at least an hour, maybe an hour 15 before we have to worry about any visitors. So, we have run of the place, have shut down the wards. I know that she'll be placing the sword here in a place of honor upon the altar. I suggest we keep her from getting into that room at all.
Okay, so both of you, all of you think that odds of killing are pretty slim, right?
My entire plan is to get that sword, disappear, and leave.
Okay, so get the sword, disappear, leave.
Killing whom? Killing Rosamine? I'm for that. If we can, that would be great. Killing Kazim Azizi? I don't think that's on the table. No.
Okay. Steal the sword. I got something for that.
All right.
I've got fade away, but that only works if I'm holding still. I've got sight unseen, but that's not useful here. Unobtrusive visitor is take on the aspect of someone unassuming.
Yeah, that's what you just
Yeah,
used, right?
I can. I've got telekinesis, and I've got the ability to go invisible. So my whole investment here is to somehow get the sword away, take it, become invisible, exit combat. If you guys want to
Okay.
linger around and kick all the ass,
I
that's
got-
cool.
I can help you out. I got stock your horde. I can spend an inheritance, and if I'm mistaken, we only have one.
Correct.
So might as well, yeah.
Which then you can regain through a memory if you wanted to.
Automatically steal one object you could reasonably carry from a trivial target, or gain a +3 enhancement to attempt to steal from a character your tier or higher,
I
or
think
to
that's
steal a
what we're
large
doing.
object. You must know what you're stealing and who owns it.
We're
Right.
set there.
Which
So
you are
yeah,
set
So
if you
I
can get
punt
it,
it off to you.
yes, and I will do a disappearing act, and then I'm just waiting for the exit to open
Catch.
and I'm leaving. Yep.
So now at this point, first of all, are you dropping your illusions? Because that would allow you to reclaim your inheritance that you had imbued.
If we're gonna have privacy in here, yes.
Okay, so you have your inheritance back. Now, Baligan does not. So did you want to try to trigger a memory while you're in here?
Yeah.
And out of the, which one of your callings did you want to try to trigger that memory from?
You know what? I'm gonna go Mystic.
Alrighty.
Especially since I have links to the past.
Okay, you remember arcane secrets buried under centuries of dusty history. When you invoke it, you may use one spell you don't know in any dragon magic form other than a flight-specific one once before the end of the scene, plus one additional time. So a spell that you don't know you can use once. To resolve the condition, you become a font of mystical power, choosing one spell that you do know, other than a flight-specific one. And all heirs and other draconic beings present in the scene, allied or not, may use that spell, even if they don't know it for the rest of the scene. So when you invoke it, you gain the spell that you can spend, and then when you want to resolve the condition, which is when you gain your full benefit, you give everybody else access to a spell you do know.
Cool.
Neato.
So when you start to have this memory, you start reaching back across the ages, beyond time, to an age before the rise of the gods and the titans, a time before these various petty tyrants came to the world and stole what was rightfully yours. Magic was far more common then. Not that it's particularly rare in the world now, but it was everything. You breathed magic, you slept magic, you ate magic. It was all around you. And within that magic, you recall feeling a pulse. The allure of a potent bauble, a collection of this magical energy. You recall swimming through the air, the water, you're not quite sure which. Perhaps it was both at the time. Approaching this pulsing source of energy. And you realize the pulse is more of a flicker.
The heartbeat of a candle flame.
And as this flame flickers, you realize that the space that you have swam to has solid ground, stone ground. You look out and realize that you're on top of a very large mountain on some sort of flat surface. And you see the flame itself diminish for only a moment. As that flame diminishes, you're able to track the flicker of the second flame stolen from that first bonfire, that first conflagration. And you see one of those young upstarts, one of those interlopers, one of those things that call themselves gods, running off with this piece of fire. And you're filled with a rage. But the only thing that fills you stronger than that rage is your curiosity. What does this thing, what audacity, what is it planning on doing? I'll find it and I'll eat it. As you follow it down the side of the mountain, and you see it approach a huddled mass of the latest iteration of ape. And in a stunning display of hubris, you watch this god hand down that fire to these apes. As you react violently to this, you lunge forward, ready to swallow the entire lot of them. The god reels in terror at your draconic might as you approach. But one of these apes grabs the stick that had been lit from the god's fire and jams it directly into your mouth. And for the first time, you feel the pain of being burned by your own knowledge, your own magic. The memory fades.
Well, that was interesting. Well, I feel older than I ever felt old before. And those were my memories, correct? Or
So when when an heir accesses draconic memory,
Mhm.
it's kind of the memory of your ancestor. The higher your inheritance gets, the less there are solid lines between you and the dragon you were. If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So as of right now, it felt first person,
Okay.
but as your mind is right now, you might process that as I just witnessed someone else's memory, in the sense of I witnessed my dragon's memory as opposed to I witnessed my own.
It's past life regression type thing.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate
Oh,
doing
you
that.
had one of those things.
Oh, I don't like that at all. Oh, curiosity killed the cat, but also the cat daddy did not like that at all. Anyways,
Do we want to know?
oh, the usual. Dragons were here first, and gods are colonizers. The usual story. First flame, that sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Also, do we really? You know what? We'll table that. We'll table that after we get the sword.
Yeah.
And do you have a spell in mind that you would like to have gained access to from this that you do not
I-
already know?
I do. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It is. I just saw it. I want to say it's called Purify Organization.
Okay.
Within 1 week, an event reveals the identity and activities of anyone working in an organization who is attempting to harm the group or its mission.
Excellent. Excellent. And you would like to target whom with that?
Sky.
Yeah, definitely Sky. I kind of want to target Sky because there's more to this than just, oh, I'm helping you. You guys can go off the sword. No, I'm sick of going back and forth with those two.
Sure.
Oh,
That is fair.
well done.
Is this an okay moment for me to take 5?
Yeah. In fact, we're at a good spot right now for that. Let's do our 5 for bio and techno. If you are watching this live, hang out. You'll see us soon. If you're watching this in VOD, fast forward to see our pretty faces again. We'll be back momentarily.
Thank you, kind.
Hey everybody, welcome back to twitch.tv/The Onyx Path. We have now stepped away and addressed our biological and technological needs. The Borg are all pleased, and we are ready to return to our tale of Scion Dragon, Live by the Blade. When we had, just before the break, Baligan had had triggered a draconic memory, which then gave him access to the Purify Organization spell, which he's going to use. You are targeting Sky with that, is that correct? Or really targeting Kazim Aziz's organization
Yeah,
with that?
tagging the organization, but really like zoning in on like Sky and what the fuck is going on around that orbit, because this is getting confusing.
Sure, that's fair.
It is good you can do the whole organization though, because who knows what info.
Right,
may
who knows
come
what
up
might shake
handy.
loose? Exactly.
Take it from the hacker. Like, get the bigger file. Who knows?
Right. And
Whatever I
then
can get.
had you settled on which, and you wanted to resolve that condition before,
Yes.
before Rosamina shows up, right?
Definitely.
So, which of your spells would you like to give access to all of the Draconic heirs present?
Ooh. Because I know, and let me see. Let me just make sure that is correct. Hold on. Spell. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It is Pervious, correct?
Yes, yeah, anything that's under your purview is on the sheet. We're using, for the audience at home, we're using the Roll20 Scion, which is currently only supports Hero and Origin. So we've just sort of shoehorned a hero sheet into the use for Dragon. But it translates over pretty well.
It's not bad.
Teleportation, create pocket realm.
Those are both really good.
Okay.
It's under teleportation.
Oh,
Is create a pocket realm just in case. Hey, I know we need an exit, but sometimes you gotta create an entrance before you can even get to the exit. So I'm just like, emergency.
could I theoretically make like a little bag of holding that can't be yanked away for the sword if I did that?
Yes.
Okay,
Crow,
so
you're on fire. Okay, you're just a good idea machine right now.
now we have create pocket realm. Huh. Really interesting character like dynamics. Like how different they all work. So now we have create pocket realm.
Mm-hmm.
You and as many as inheritance times 2 companions teleport into it.
Yep.
The realm lasts as long as you remain within it.
Mm-hmm.
And it vanishes when you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Disgorging stored items at your feet.
less useful, but neato.
Huh.
It's a nice escape plan. You're like Bugs Bunny. You're carrying a permanent hole with you.
Yep. And I feel like we're gonna need a couple of them.
Hope not, but better to have it than unneeded.
I think you can also stuff other people in it and not go in.
It looks like
I
it.
believe.
But someone has to be in it.
Or now, and this is where this could come in. This is another place where this could come in handy because it ties right into the question I was about to ask Stefano, which is you've got a little bit of time and you've got some soldiers. So how would you like to stage this ambush? Now
In a pocket dimension, maybe?
I mean, that's
Surprise!
Say hello to my little friends.
Well, what they do is they aim at the dimensional door with their guns, and I just hold the portal open, and it's like 5 people shooting machine gun instead of 1.
I had a bag
Is that
of
dumb?
holding. I had a bag of holding full of animated crossbows once that just shot legions of arrows. It was the most anime thing I've ever done in a fantasy game.
Does that work?
Oh, it was stupid,
I feel like
but
that
it
would
worked.
work.
Yeah.
it would with the bag of holding thing or the having your pawns inside of pocket dimensions thing.
Both.
That the latter, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's inheritance times 2, so each of you would only be able to put 2 people in a pocket dimension you created. but
Could my pawns go in someone else's?
Yeah.
Oh no, I see. Oh, they can?
yes, but each one would only have a maximum of 2.
Oh, I see. It holds a maximum. Hmm.
It's your inheritance times 2 is how many people it can hold.
Okay. So
I
that
like
means
that there's
2
an
each.
escalating scale. That's nice.
Maybe I'll save that inheritance because I might need to do the stashing, the grab and stash,
Oh, sure. Okay.
and that'll cost it. Yeah.
All right. Well, to that end, then, how would you like to set people out on this floor plan?
One last question about the dimensional pocket. Can you keep someone prisoner in it?
Theoretically, they can't get out unless you let them out.
Okay. One more thing to bear in mind if Sky pulls a little switcheroo, which, by the way, what was the result on that little Inquisition?
Nothing yet. So the way that Purify organization works is sometime within the next week, whoever is corrupt within the organization will inadvertently reveal their corruption to those who are not corrupt within the organization. Now this of course is altered and affected by circumstance. You are creating a situation where instances of corruption are going to very easily come to the fore, right?
Okay.
So chances are good this will occur.
It's not an audit, it's a forced intervention.
Kind of like basically, if you look at it along the lines of like you are ensuring, you're setting up fate in such a way that the corrupt within the organization are going to trip over their own feet and reveal themselves.
This power would ruin Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah,
I just want to say that.
Yep, for the low cost of 1 inheritance, yes.
Yep.
No more covenants.
Single Draconic Heir takes out the entire city. Yeah.
Unless it'll just become like the Spider-Man meme, and every single vampire in the city will be like, "Oh, haha! I knew you were corrupt. You too." And then you're starting all over again.
Standoff.
There's one
Yeah.
over in the corner with a bandana on, like nobody look at me, nobody look at me. But
And maybe there's one who isn't corrupt, and then they all pin it on him.
right, exactly. That's the one with the bandana, and they find out it's hiding a third eye.
That's why we killed Zala, because he made me feel bad about how I live my own life.
So yeah, how do we want to set up this ambush? We have a little bit of planning time before.
Okay, do we know where they're coming from?
They will enter the same entrance that you did. The northern entrance is Sky informs you is reserved strictly for Kazim Azizi. The wards on it, she's unable to program. Oh, and by the way, don't walk through that door.
Okay.
Is the other half of the map pertinent to what we're doing?
In that, those are all areas you have access to. Yes.
Okay, but there's
Okay,
nothing
can I move?
interesting going on there.
There's tons of interesting stuff going there. If you want to, you should be able to move your own character.
There's where my inability to understand Roll20 kicks in, so let me just fiddle with that.
Yeah, you just select the token and then actually can use your arrow keys to move
Okay.
around pretty easily.
So
I can't
laggy.
move any of these.
Oh, you know why you can't move any of them? I'll show you why you can't move any of them. Because I think I've got them on the wrong. No, they're on the right layers. What in the Hades?
Pan. No, that's pan. Let's select. I can ping everyone.
That's because I got you. I'm gonna get you fixed here right quick. If you could, Baligan, try to move your token.
Boom.
Excellent. If you could, Stefano, try to move your token.
Bam.
Excellent. And if you could, Reese, go ahead and try to move your token.
Oh, neato. Okay.
Yep. All right. Good to go.
Okay.
Rock and roll. Sorry, I just
So-
forgot to program the tokens properly. There was an ID10T error over here.
For the sake of continuity, can we say that I scout within the parameters Sky laid out before I dropped my disguise?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no one else inside the library right now. It
Well,
is empty.
better safe than sorry.
As you're walking through, you start to see a lot of treasures on display. In addition to there being shelves full of books, you see various items in display cases or hanging on the walls. Some of them you recognize as urban legends, old mythic tales, things that are not quite adequately remembered. You see a statue that has a name on it. And when you try to look at the name on the plate of the statue, your eyes go a little bit swimmy. But you can clearly read underneath, it says Mother of Grendel.
I'm looking for a jockstrap Maximus Decimus Meridius. I'll be damned.
You find at least one Holy Grail. You find
But choose wisely.
right several of these items that either looks extremely important, but you just can't place. It's on the tip of your tongue, or things that have legendarily disappeared in the past. You find a crystal skull in there. You find there's just all sorts of bizarre artifact.
You got a portal. Just start like pulling in Elder Scrolls and
I'm not
flipping
sure.
everything into the portal.
Well, I thought about it because you're right. Elder Scrolls. Oh, that's not nailed down, and I'm not coming back. You, but every goblet of treasure. But I don't know. Aren't some of these things better forgotten?
That is a possibility. Also, non-zero possibility that dragon is acutely aware of everything that's in this room.
That too.
Guess it. Will
that
they walk through the entire thing?
Yeah, eventually, at some point, perhaps.
That being said, a dimensional pocket full of their sustenance stolen that we like hold a bomb over, that's a bit of leverage, You can eat it all again, or I could just nuke it out of you. I don't know if that's how it works.
I'm looking for something a little different.
What are you looking for?
All this is culturally amazing, wonderful, wow, impressive. We really love the innovative kink, but I'm looking for something more incriminating.
Okay.
You shot JFK?
Oh no, something. Well, possibly, but something I can. Well,
what about the recipe for Greek fire?
Possibly
that came
Greek
up
fire.
last session.
You don't find the recipe for Greek fire, but you do find a couple of like globes filled with it.
That's impressive, and I would love to have this in my coffee table, but no.
The last Game of Thrones book. I'll be damned.
And you open it up, and inside it says 2038.
I want information that I can sell to everyone else in our network of higher end criminals, from dragons to gods to whatever else claims to be in charge. That's what I'm looking for.
Go ahead and give me I would say probably culture, but I would be willing to hear other things, academics maybe.
Okay.
You know what? You could go. I'm trying to see. I'm gonna look at your sheet real quick so I can see kind of what your combos are. So yeah, you could lean on integrity, or on culture, or on academics. And I would probably say cunning if you're trying to search it quickly.
Cool. Then I will go Culture cunning. And can I throw in my uncompromising vision for this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You want me to be able to move the pawns, or
Now, if you just
should I
want to ping where you want to put them, I'll
yeah,
move
let's
them.
put one up here,
All right.
and then one across the way, and then kind of like one down here. Assuming these middle parts are walls.
They are, yes.
Yeah, so like one down there. Another one there. And another one here. And that way, when they come in and do their business, we got 3 gunners there, 3 gunners here, and then it'll be chaos.
Love it. I'm a fan of chaos. All right, so let's see. We got 6 on that.
Plus the
Plus-
we're at-
Yeah, your enhancement, and that's so again, if you have 3, it's a +1 enhancement. This is something I get tripped up on all the time, so remind me. If you have 3 in the skill that's specialized, it's +1 enhancement. If you have 4, it's +2 enhancement. If you have 5, it's +3 enhancement. So, yeah, you've got 9 successes. What would you like to find?
I am looking for something that could hinder their organization and can be sold to other people. Like the juiciest blackmail material possible.
There's not much in here that would directly harm Kazim Azizi other than just having it taken from his collection. But there's a lot in here that could damage the hell out of other people. You find various...
You find their Horcrux.
Right. Yeah, you find a section... that too. No, you find a section where you're assuming the heirs in Kazim Azizi's employ have collated and compiled a list of divine and titanic parentage, like lineages.
The genealogy.
Yep, and it has all sorts of potential scions listed in it. It has going back hundreds, if not thousands of years, including some scions who were born of unions between gods and titans that you had never heard of ever occurring.
If this was a Highlander game, I'd make a whole campaign about the Quickening Codex or something. That would be incredible.
But yeah, he's gathering that stuff up, making copies digitally, and even send like some like encrypted, very cryptic text from like our gossip rags.
Can you
Right now, you won't be able to send
email
text because you're in
out of another dimension?
you're in a Terra Incognita. In some, you can.
That'd be great if it worked, though.
Wait,
they're magic. They could.
Is the phone magic?
In some, you can. Not in this one.
Mikabashi's Wicked City is hell. Like you can taste the text.
To put it very simply, Kazim Azizi has never eaten a cell tower.
That's fair.
Well put. Well put.
Yet.
I'd like to roll academics, leaning on my library science to quickly sort of catalog when we're making an escape, because I don't want to, if we take it and it alerts, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to blow the ambush. But if we are making an escape and the alarms are blowing, there's no reason I can't dash through a room and pick a few choice pieces to toss in the sack and then run if the opportunity presents itself. So can I roll that to sort of prime my looting catalog, bank a little advantage?
It'd be,
if I have to run through here, I have exactly 4 seconds and I want to knock this off, grab the crystal skull, 180 around the corner.
Can you tell I played a lot of Thief?
That's fair. Give me a cunning academics,
too.
please.
In real life, not the game.
A thief LARP.
Yeah, a LARP. We'll call it a
Yeah.
LARP.
Yeah.
That's I relate. Not that I want to
Alright.
talk any more about it because
So,
that's incriminating.
Not
literally.
too bad. 2 successes. You see a couple of choice pieces you could snag, depending on which direction you get. You basically, there's no way you're going to run out of this building that there won't be something you can snatch on the way through.
Neato. Cool.
Aside from,
I'm ready to rock.
Aside from setting up placement of shooters, is there anything else that Stefano wants to do during the prep time?
I make note of where Pandora's box is.
Sure.
Well, that'll go well.
And in an emergency, I'll go and pull the lid off and throw it.
Pandora's hand grenade.
Yeah.
1, 2, 5.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything. Everyone close your eyes.
This is turning into SCP, the RPG.
And I'm for it.
How does that not officially exist yet?
I think it does, actually. I think somebody made one. So Sky goes and waits near the altar. Go ahead and place yourselves where you would like to be when
All right.
Rosamine appears.
That's, for what it's worth, just to plug a friend. I know Clinton Boomer has a homebrew of an SCP RPG he was showing to friends to playtest, and it's pretty cool.
I mean, one could argue that Trinity Continuum Core it can be SCP the RPG very easily.
You're not wrong.
It doesn't take much doing. And if Balagan and Reese could put themselves where they plan to be, that would be awesome too.
Yeah, I'm lined up for a sneak up behind, take stuff, leave move.
Same.
Right. Yeah. So just the two of you know that door that you're hiding on either side.
That's where we came through.
Is where they're going to come in.
Right.
So you want to come up where I am, or around the corner? Yeah.
Would this work?
That theoretically,
if they walk this way and they stop in the doorway and turn, maybe.
I mean, I plan to be like.
Is your invisibility imbue or spend?
Oh, let me look. Is it? I don't even know what that means. Let me find out. Illusions. Where are you?
Should be under your purviews on your sheet.
Purviews. That's my fucking purview. That's innate power, imbue 1 inheritance.
Yep. So you could sit there, imbue your inheritance as long as you're holding still. You're invisible.
Okay.
And then when the power ends, you just end the imbuement, and then you have that inheritance back.
And then I can activate it again whenever.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
anything
sure
anything that you imbue stays imbued while you're using it. Anything you spend, you have to get a memory or rest to get it back.
Okay. So I will wait right here then, invisible. Clickety clacking and yachtcha. And just be ready for the snatch.
Excellent.
There's a joke there, and I'm not going to make it.
But
I'm a better man now.
That's right. Yeah. The classy thing to do is mention that you could have made a joke.
It's exactly what I'm going for.
Less brain power, also classier. It's new age. It's only 1/4 as annoying as the kids that still say phrasing.
Archer spent it well, but it's done.
Thank God.
If you say Pickle Rick, you're the kind of person they were making fun of. It's ironic.
It's like rain on your wedding day.
Is that what irony is?
Irony is a Pickle Rick. Irony is a Pickle Rick amongst the phrasing.
That's meta irony.
NeoCal 2024.
Irony stacked like cordwood.
Somebody stitch that onto a throw pillow for me.
I've been on Etsy. That probably exists.
All right.
Abraham Lincoln, 1982.
To his friend Gandhi.
Yeah.
All right. The time arrives. Your expected guests arrive. Not only is Rosamina there, but she's accompanied by 4 of the Roman legionnaires as they make their way in and start making their way up to.
Snatch.
You gonna snag it as they walk by?
I mean, we're supposed to do it before they get to the altar, so yeah.
All right. So what is
They
your?
don't have dragon sight, do they? And they just see them standing there and they're like, stab.
Wrong dragon.
They
okay.
They do not appear to see you. So were you going to drop the invisibility and imbue over into what was that?
You tell me. I don't know.
Oh, I was going to say I don't think you had the one that lets you just steal something. I thought that was Stefano.
But that's
That was me.
Yeah, that's Stefano.
But if they can, because we're going for the path of least resistance, so if they can get it and then GTFO, then the rest of us don't even need to be here.
Yeah, it's pretty
But
great
if the snatch doesn't work,
yeah, if the backup shot can't miss, it's a really good backup shot. Yeah.
yeah, and so but if that misses, well,
Okay, so
Well,
let me check something real quick because actually she does get a chance to notice you.
sure.
are they like holding it like on like a satin pillow in their arms?
No,
Or is
they're-
it like in a sheath? Is it on their back?
It's currently wrapped in the blade part's wrapped in a blanket, and she's holding that in.
She'll
Also, it's
notice
not
when
strapped.
it's gone.
Also, it's not strapped
No.
like into a sheath, which means it's probably easier.
There could be a sheath under the blanket, I guess, but
Oh, I meant like attached to them.
oh yeah.
That would make things a little
All right.
finicky.
So you would decide which
Make a major.
attribute you would like to roll with your inheritance.
I guess dexterity. Does that?
Sure. And they get to roll a resilience attribute plus their inheritance. So,
Okay. So what am I rolling? That's
Subterf.
no, it's just
Oh, I see it. Yeah,
It's
this
ju-
Little D10, just hanging out.
okay. I'm clicking it, but nothing's happening.
oh, you got to click the. So, are you talking about on the actual
Sheet
right? But are you talking about on the power, or are you talking about
on the power, yeah. Under illusions, there's a Clash of Wills D10.
and it doesn't roll when you click it?
Maybe I have to put in dexterity
Yep.
plus dexterity plus subterfuge or resolve.
It's
you
just
said?
it's just +1. It's just plus your
Oh.
inheritance.
So
You just do dexterity and then hit roll, and then when skip the
versus.
skip the add or whatever, and then when it asks you for extra dice, just add 1 to it.
It's not doing anything.
In that case, you can just pop up to dexterity and hit that and roll it that way.
That's
I'm
fine
sure
by
there's
me.
I'm sure there's a way to do that. I'm just not sure what it is.
Who has time for that? All right, dexterity, rolling dexterity, blippity bloop. Add what skill would I like to roll off of? It won't let me pick nothing.
Oh, pick a skill you have 0 in.
Oh, yeah. That's such a reasonable response. Yeah, survival. What do I know about surviving? And additional dice was
1.
right. Yes, submit. I submit. Okay.
All right. So as you like go to reach out, she spins around and like inhale deeply.
Crap. I'm sorry. I'm German. Scheiße.
It's fair. And let me check something here real quick because it's not listed in the Roll20 sheet. So she turns around, takes a deep breath, and like lets go at a spitting out like a gout of flame at you.
Oh, that's me.
So how would you like to defend against this?
Reflex save for half damage. Yeah, I'll
You should have a defense pool. You can roll that
sure.
on your sheet.
Find that. There we go. No additional dice, I'm assuming.
No additional dice. That is correct.
Ruh-roh.
Good gods. I didn't especially plan to survive, but ouchers.
That's okay. It wasn't that much better. So you will take one injury condition. You can choose which injury you fill in. You should have a list of injuries on your sheet. And when you take an injury, the way that it works is you describe what that injury is and you put it next to the condition you want. Because if a condition wouldn't affect what you're doing, you do not suffer the penalty.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's wow.
So this would be like fire to the face would be this one.
So how does that work exactly? Like you take a descriptive.
Yep. You usually what
Type.
you do is you'll write the source of the injury and where the injury affects you. So which basically means like if I compound fracture your leg, that doesn't make you a worse shot.
Right. I'll say
You stub your widow toe. You just stub your widow toe.
Yeah, but what a stub. A dragonfire stub. You've lost your little toe. So I would say that like I was with one success. We'll say I was like flinching and I shielded my face with my arm, but now my left arm is singed badly.
All right.
So mark off bruised and put left arm burn.
Excellent. And then
You
if
rolled
there's
that many successes, that many dice, only got one success.
yeah. The only reason she's even able to do it enhanced or to do damage is because of the enhancement that she has.
Jeeperoonies.
All right. So the way we're going to handle this is we are going to
With our right hand.
let y'all go first because you're the heroes of the story and you're more
Yeah.
important.
What? What is this? Heroes going first? We need to take 10 minutes to sort initiative order and be completely out of sync with each other.
No such thing. Baligan, you have the first action. What would you like to do?
I can feel it coming. Oh Lord.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
Basically,
Oh, Lord.
how do
How do I hate Phil Collins but love the music?
how do I use transformation next? Is that something I can just throw up or?
Yeah, so if the transformation neck doesn't list a cost,
Okay.
you just transform. Normally, the risk inherent with that is you're revealing your draconic nature to those around you.
That's
But that's not a concern here.
not really concerned. So I am going to do dragon scales. My transformation neck. I am throwing that on.
Excellent. Please describe what does it look like when Baligan's scales emerge?
You see going. The camera would see like these green and gold scales run down from his neck to his fingertips and everywhere else. They kind of look like almost like tattoos, but plated armor, and they shimmer. Um, and then you see like half of his face take on a little bit more draconic than it really should, and goes up to the eye. Um, and he just kind of clocks the gun. Fucking Reese, just dropping his accent entirely. And he's getting prepared to fire just in case, getting ready to shoot uh, once you get a clear shot.
All right. So now where you're standing right now, there is the bookshelf between the two of you. You can. Does it say that activating that transformation neck requires an action?
I hold on, let me go back and check. I don't believe so. No.
In that case, you can still act. So you can roll your movement dice and try to boogie over there if you want to.
Cool. I am. Excuse me, ladies. Just get right through there, and he is aiming a bullet for this young lady right here.
Now, would you like to try to run and fire?
Run and fire?
Yes.
Nah, he's trying to get a steady shot in.
All right. Fair enough. I have heard worse plans. So you run in, you get yourself steadied on the corner. You're in good shape. That brings us to Stefano. What would you and your mob like to do?
All right. Can I use a spell as well as shoot, or is it kind of like
Depends on if. Well, yes. How that works depends on how the spell is worded. Unless the spell specifically tells you that you can't use it in a mixed action, you can always take a mixed action. And the way that the mixed action would work is you would determine what the lowest dice pool is, and you would roll that and then divide your successes between the two things that you're doing. If the action, there are sometimes when an action will call for, when a situation will call for a mixed action, even if it's something that doesn't require dice to be rolled, in which case you just roll your normal pool and that eats one success.
Okay, I see. Because I have ashes to ashes, where I can incinerate a target, and or an object. Conversely, I can restore a burned object to its previously unburned state.
I'm a burned object.
And it can remove any injury conditions caused by a fire attack.
Okay.
Though it cannot restore life to the dead.
I honestly would rather you got the sword than healed me.
And that's what I was thinking. It was like, well, it's not going to stop them from fire blasting you again next turn. So that, and if I got one move, how do I go up and just yank the sword though?
So, you would, that would be, if you wanted to run up and try to yank the sword at the same time, that would be a mixed action.
Thinking just yank the sword now.
You don't have any way of reaching it at a distance, do you? Telekinesis or anything along those lines?
Oh, that would have been great.
I would have switched out some of my powers for your like auto yeet ability if I'd known. That would have been with my telekinesis and my stealth and that would have been kind of on brand.
Okay, what if
we should have had you do a memory and then give all of us auto yeet? That would have been.
Well, it would depend on that's the reward and the resolution of each of those is depending on what your callings are.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I guess we're doing it. Stock your horde. Spend one inheritance. And so can I reach them or are they being blocked?
So how many dice of movement do you have?
My movement is, where are you? Movement is dice is 7.
Okay. I just want to check something real quick here. Because this is ultimately you'll wind up doing a mixed action.
Even if I'm just right around the corner.
Well, yeah, because you're right around the corner and several squares away from them, right?
Well, I'm right here,
Right. And they are
and they're right there.
over there. Right. So you can reflexively move one range band. That causes you no difficulty. One range band is basically 2 squares.
Okay.
If you would like to move further than that, you would need to basically sprint.
Okay,
So-
well, I'm just gonna.
If you want to do that, you can roll your movement dice. You can basically do a mixed action between your movement dice and then whatever you'd be using to grab the sword. You would take the lower of those and you would split the successes between them, keeping in mind that you have the +3 enhancement automatically.
Right. Yeah, let's try to do that.
All
Why
right.
not?
So what's your what were you planning on using for snatching the sword?
Stock your horde, right?
Right, but I mean in terms of skills.
Dexterity makes sense. And survival
For stealing something.
for stealing something.
Athletics for just.
I would say
yanking
probably
it?
athletics or close combat
Athletics?
would be your best.
Close combat makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, let's use close combat then.
So what's your dexterity plus close combat pool?
7.
What's your movement dice?
7.
Okay, excellent. So just go ahead and roll dexterity close combat. Basically, you'll need to spend one of those successes to get to them, and then the rest you can spend on the snatch attempt.
All right.
And for this, you'll only need to overcome her defense. All right, so you got 7 successes on that roll. And you get 3 enhancement. So that is sufficient for you to move the distance, grab the sword, and you will have 6 successes left over with which you can apply to other stunts you might want to achieve. So, for example, if you wanted to trip her, you could do that. If you wanted to continue running and give yourself a head start for anyone tries to chase you, you could put up to 3 successes into that. So that you could trip her for 2 successes, use 3 successes to give you a head start, and still have 1 success left over for perhaps a complicate stunt, because she's falling over and ramming and falling into the rest of those legionnaires. You can complicate their next action by 1, where if they don't resolve that complication, they would fall over.
Let's do that.
All right, rock and roll.
All right. And which way were we running? Out the exit?
Yeah, you don't want to go out the north door. That's bad. Bad things happen when you go out the north door.
All right. So how far can I move?
So this would allow you to basically you get 1 more range band of movement. So about here or so,
Okay.
and then you'll have, like I said, the soldiers will have a complication 1 in the next action. Rosamina is knocked prone, and you have the sword.
All right. I have the power.
That brings us around to Reese. What would you like to do?
Normally I'd be like, toss me this, give me the idol, throw you the whip. But I'm thinking the best possible opportunity for getting this thing out is for Stefano to just book out of this dimension. And as self-serving and jerky as I've acted, This aligns perfectly with my motivation of self-sacrifice for the sake of taking down the powers that be and corruption. Literally, the sword of Damocles in the world would give people like Elon Musk a sense of, do I owe anybody anything? So I'm gonna try to throw myself into the fray of like soldiers and the dragon whose name I suddenly forget, and just try to create distraction, just screaming, run, save the world.
All right, so you're not trying to harm anyone. You're just trying to make their day harder, right? Effectively.
When I played basketball in junior high. I'm really bad at shooting hoops, but I was so good at getting in the way of people that it became an asset.
Excellent. Running interference.
I'd like to apply this to my character in this instance.
Sure. Why don't we do athletics or close combat, your choice, and then you can pair that with a social attribute if you choose, or you can lean on a physical. And what you'll be going for here will be straight complicate stunts. You will not need to hit anyone's defense. You're just adding a complication to everyone that's basically in a square adjacent to yours. So the two that are back further from you won't be affected by this, but the rest will.
I know presence is typically makes sense for this, but how about manipulation? Because I am trying to get attention and manipulate people, and I will use athletics. I don't think parkour factors into this. So manipulation, submit, additional dice because they got tripped and stuff, or
no, you don't get any enhancement on the roll.
Okay.
Well, no, because if you were attacking the prone person, you would get enhancement, but just to create a complication, you do not get enhancement.
that's fine. All right, so athletics and manipulation. I mean, they're all 4s anyway. Submitting now.
Not too bad. You have added a complication of 2 to the 3 that are closest to you, so they have a total. The 2 Legionnaires have a total complication of 3 to their next action, whereas Rosamina has a complication of 2 to her next action. The 2 that are in back only have the complication of 1 from earlier. So
Yeah, but they got to get through their friends. So
if they want to come at you, that's true.
yeah, good stuff.
So now we come to their actions. The 2 that are nearest you are obviously going to try to incapacitate you. They have to overcome a complication of 3, and you can roll your defense dice.
Literally just buying time. My survival would be a luxury. Defense. Okay. Rolling additional dice, nothing?
No.
Okay.
All right, so you have a defense of 1 against this. However, the first Legionnaire doesn't have any hope of overcoming the complication. So they're going to, as they step forward and swing at you, they miss, hitting their sword on the corner, like on that wall fixture behind you, and basically knocking it out of their own hand. The other Legionnaire is going to rush forward. They're going to not resolve their complication, so they do hit you, but in the process, they effectively like hit you and then sort of spin themselves in their motion to where that sword that's bouncing off of the wall like comes back and like catches them like right in the eye slot, and they drop dead at your feet. The downside to that, of course, is that you will suffer another level of injury, and this is from being stabbed.
Yeah. Could I say that do I have to make it a slash damage, or can I say that the pommel conked me on the head, or?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So I will go with concussed by Gladius.
Excellent. That is 1 Legionnaire down, 3 to go. These 2
Did you
Legionnaires.
just Mr. Bean an enemy?
Absolutely.
I didn't think of it that way, but yeah.
These two legionnaires are going to start giving chase.
It's a classic ship.
So they will need to roll to try to run after you. Now they have a difficulty of 4 to this roll because of your head start.
Ooh.
So neither one of them is able to catch you in the first round.
That's some good interference.
Yep.
I just picture them. They're all limbs and gangly and like the grabbing onto ankles. And
you're kind of making them look a little silly. That brings us to Rosamina, who's going to do like a kip up basically and try to run after the sword as well. She does get a 2 enhancement on this, which brings her up to 6 successes. So she's able to pay for the complication for standing up, pay for the complication that you had inflicted on her, pay for the additional complications you had inflicted on her, and come just shy of making the difficulty. So she's basically runs to the front of the pack and she's right on Stefano's tail.
uh-oh.
As we go back to the top. As far as any of you can see, you can't tell what Sky is doing. Balian, what would you like to do?
First question, the other allies, are they doing anything or they just waiting?
Oh yeah, what did you want your
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
your pawns would go on your action, I just forgot. My bad.
Oh, okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was like other systems where it's like, you need to split your pool or use your action
If you
want to
have them do more than one thing, you need to split your dice pool.
Yeah,
like if you want to split them up,
they're just
just
gonna move and shoot.
Get her. That's
yeah.
That's your plan,
yeah,
right?
I have. Where is it?
Get her. That was your whole
there's
plan.
leadership, commanding gang, 4 dots.
All right. So they come
get her.
rushing out. The others are going to basically take their whole turn to get over here, but 2 of them can absolutely step forward and spray and pray. And can you remind me what the benefits of the weapons they're using are?
Submachine guns, automatic, firearm, lethal, ranged.
Awesome.
They get +2 enhancement to harm.
All right. So the first one, they both shoot. They both get 2 to hit with +2 enhancement. But that's only to actually inflicting the injury condition, so it doesn't help them hit any better. So surprisingly enough, as they're firing, she like ducks and weaves and does not get tagged.
Dragons.
Now your other 2 or other 3 that have stepped into that room are able to see what Sky is doing. Why don't you just go ahead and roll me? I'll make a roll for you. I'm going to roll their desperation pool to see if they can put together that maybe they should shout a warning to you.
Oh.
Curse or sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Mine is an evil laugh.
What?
Nice. Got that bass coming through on the mic. Very nice.
I like my mic for that.
I hear you coming down in those tones. Down here.
Down here.
Down in that noir zone.
That is not reading right. Hold on 1 second.
Oh.
Yeah, they got 1 success, which is still enough.
Ooh.
I don't know why it listed it as 5 successes, but they got 1 success, which is enough. They one of them shouts, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Then they're like pointing their guns at her.
Boris, it's a double cross.
Baligan, what would you like to do? As you hear,
Why I oughta.
as you hear this shouting and whatnot going on.
I have to clean up all the messes. And he just steps out. It's just, just yeah. Because he knows he has to get to whatever's happening on this end. He knows he has to go deal with that. So basically, he is aiming his shots at her.
Okay. At Rosamine?
At Rosamine.
All right.
Making sure those dragonfire rounds hit. What do I roll?
It's a firearms and dexterity.
And dexterity. And I can't throw an uncompromising vision on this. Like, she's getting the burns.
You know what? I'll give it to you. I'll let you add that enhancement. I'm nothing if not a benevolent deity.
Thank you. 2 successes.
2 successes is all you need to tag her. However, your weapon does not benefit from the aggravated tag because she's immune to fire damage.
Ooh.
But she is not immune to a piece of metal effectively going into her skin. That part she's not immune to. So you shoot her in the side and she lets out a yelp and keeps running.
Rosamine, darling, if you stop running and we talk, I stop firing the bullets. And the next bullets won't be fire-induced. Next one will, well, you should ask Sky what happened to her eyes when I poured chemicals in it.
All right, you're taunting her as she's running away?
Oh yeah, it's that petty, posh, I'm going to kill you if you don't.
I appreciate petty.
Yeah.
Very dragon.
Are you continuing, Stefano, being in a race with this person?
They really want this sword. Okay, so things are going on over there, but I'm under the impression that we're supposed to run. I've also got a submachine gun. Stefano's is right up. They're right up. Definitely. I don't think that they would run and just leave everyone behind.
Run away and gun.
But I could run away and gun.
Yeah, tactical withdrawal. Rat-tat-tat-tat.
Yeah, let's shoot their goons.
Right? Are you gonna? So you're gonna run while you're doing that, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So give me your firearms and dex, but you're gonna need to spend 1 success to keep moving forward, basically.
All right.
You do, however, have 3 enhancement because of your head start on that running. So
Ooh.
you got that going for you. 3 enhancement
right.
on the 1 success that you're spending in running.
All right. Oh, what am I?
So firearms, dexterity, no extra dice.
Firearms and dexterity.
All right. So you get 1 success towards hitting them, and then 4 successes for running away. Or you can skip you can put both of those successes into a spray and pray and hope for the best.
Yeah, let's put it into the spray and pray.
All right, and I just want to check real quick.
Certainly they're not. Immune to fire.
All right, that adds a +1 enhancement. So that brings you up to 3. And if you want to empty the clip, you can get an additional enhancement out of it.
No, I'm fine. Just firing like that.
Right.
And the Alchemy magazine has the additional tags, aggravated and brutal.
Correct. So you basically drop the remaining Legionnaires.
All right.
But she is still hot on your heels.
Hey, weird question. Can you shove somebody else into the bag of holding the dimensional pocket offensively?
Yeah, I don't see why not. As long as you can shove them.
I'm just saying.
That brings us to Reese. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna get up and try to shove our pursuing dragonborn into this dimensional pocket.
Give me an integrity cunning roll as you step right there.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm trying to maximize my sheet, but it's like 1 pixel to get the edge. Let's see. Integrity.
Like they knew.
Sons of bitches. Integrity cunning.
Yes, please.
Okay. As it lay. Beep boop.
All right. So as you like run through and you're getting ready to like pursue this woman, out of the corner of your eye, basically, you catch
Sky.
Sky opening what looks to be a fairly large box that was near the altar. Seems to have maybe moved it over there while you all were hiding. And as she opens the box, you're not subject to this.
She starts chanting Emotep.
Because you are draconic in nature.
But
Those poor pawns, you see their faces start to melt off as light emanates from the box.
I wanted to open that box.
Okie dokie.
Dang.
Can I infer? Like, wait. Sky doesn't have the sword, does she?
She does not have the sword.
She what?
She does not have the sword.
Okay, so she's just. I don't know what she's doing.
You don't know what she's doing.
Your bomb.
If you want to
She's
stop,
betraying us.
if you want to stop and check that out, you can. Like if you want to stop to clock what she's doing, you can. If you want to keep going and pursuing the sword, you may do so.
I believe you two have one nasty dragony person in hand. I will go ahead and investigate this hullabaloo nonsense.
Sure. Why don't you make a occult and intellect, or failing that, you could do academics. If that's easier for you.
It's almost certainly easier. My occult is zilch, but my academics, and that's intellect or
Intellect is fine. Nice. All right, so you look over and you see these people melting. You see that the box that she's opened is some sort of ancient artifact that appears to be deadly for humans to look upon. But more to the point, you see that the wards on the altar seem to have been triggered. As if she tripped the alarm herself.
Mm-hmm. I'll shout what I'm seeing to the others.
Excellent.
You know, Sky's betraying us. Surprise.
That brings us back around
Quick, throw the grenades.
to Baligan. What would you like to do?
For the rest of it, I will say that I am no longer prone.
Yes, I
That'll
figured
wrap me up.
you got up and started running.
Didn't
So
you make a grenade?
I think I'm out of actions.
Yeah, Baligan's not though. It's Baligan. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
Firing another, because he hears this, he just goes, we should have just killed them both. We should have just killed them both. But no, we try to be diplomatic about this. And he just frustratingly is still firing rounds into Rosalina, and he's just getting her name wrong. Rosemond, Rose, the girl from Charmed, whatever that show is, and he just keeps firing at her.
Rose.
Give me a firearms dex. It's hilarious.
Every bullet's a new name.
We are at 10 p.m. Does everybody mind going a few minutes late so we can get this wrapped up? Probably 15, 20 minutes late so we can get this wrapped up.
I can handle that.
Yeah.
You good,
But
Cal?
we
or do you have
should-
to... Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. I just want to make sure that nobody had a heart out.
I'm as guilty as anybody of drawing this out.
No, it's all good. All right, so you fire and it goes wide. No luck, no joy. I'm going to go ahead and assume that the three of you are going to prioritize getting the sword.
Yes.
With that, you run outside. As soon as you get outside, Stefano, it's night anyway. But like the first thing you notice when you're outside is the stars above you go out. And then you realize that the stars didn't stop burning so much as there's a dragon with his wings unfurled in all of his glory above you.
Wait a second. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen.
Big Kronk energy.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Rosamine
Oh,
runs.
that's not good.
Rosamine runs out behind you, looks up in wide-eyed terror. And the rest of you come barreling out the door. As this dragon is looking down at you, Kazim Aziz in all of his draconic glory. And then you hear from behind you, she betrayed you. She tried to give your sword off to the others, to these other heirs. And Kazim Azizi doesn't so much like take a deep breath as he just sort of, and a person-sized fireball drops down and just reduces the formerly immune to fire Draconic Heir to ash.
Pompeii.
Well, that solves one of my problems.
Where once there was a person, now there's an ash-shaped pile, a person-shaped pile of ash, which blows away.
Sky comes out and says, I've apprehended them. I've stopped them. They're trying to steal the sword. You turn around and just unload in her. I'm not even going to make you roll. You just turn around and she drops.
Great. That finishes two problems. Can we talk?
The dragon lands perched basically. So you all are at the doors on the stoop of the library. He's standing at the far end of that previous map you were on, but is like leaning down so like he's making like nose to nose with you almost.
Wow, you are very handsome.
The body's like filling the.
Right, exactly.
The
It's just
entryway.
all dragon.
Could I just scoot past you? Just to think. Sorry. Yep. Sorry.
So it looks like you're in. So it looks like you're in need of some new minions.
Oh,
We brought you the sword.
And we just hey, who's better at holding onto the sword? Huh?
just
That's
kicks
just saying.
the dust of this poor woman like, hi, and I just got
And
some
while
very
I'm
much-
saying that, I'm like sleight of handing the sword to Reese.
All right.
I am. I'm going to use
Because, like,
illusion
that
and
was our-
pass another sword back.
All right.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, you have a sword, but it's not the sword. And I'm going to slip that in my pocket dimension. Thank you again, Crow.
And you present the sword.
I'm gonna kneel and present the sword, hoping that
He leans
that-
down and sniffs the sword,
Oh shit! Of course.
and then nudges.
And I'm gonna go pow and uppercut the dragon right underneath the
Yeah,
chin.
is that your plan?
and yell, "Dragon uppercut!"
All right, no
no,
shit.
I-
That happened in a Shadowrun game once, so I'm getting flashbacks.
So how absolutely stupid would, like, because I don't know, but in this world, how stupid would Stefano think that would be? Or is it like,
Apocalyptically
because I'm
so.
thinking of like Exalted, where I can uppercut a dragon.
Here's the thing: you could punch him, and you could theoretically, possibly annoy him by doing so. But
Sometimes you roll a 20.
when you looking at it in terms of scale, you are able to exert one scale when you use a feat of scale, right?
Right.
So that's just something you can do
roll
as a
20
dragon.
in Pathfinder.
He can exert 6. So the scale that he can exert is double what it would need to be for him to just ignore you and declare how the combat goes.
My daughter pushed me.
Orders of magnitude.
She pushed herself backward, but she
Right.
did push me.
Okay, now, as funny as that would be, let's not do that. I just wanted to get the visual out there for everyone.
So he sniffs the sword.
Sniffs the sword, and then he sort of nudges your hands with just the very tip of his nose to knock the sword out of your hands onto the ground.
Purrs, bunts you lightly.
Yeah. And he says, "You've
wink.
served me well. This has bought you your life.
Oh, well, okay.
I will send for you when I need you again."
Oh. Right.
A portal opens next to you.
So I'm hoping that the others are sliding away.
Oh, I've already absconded with what I wanted.
We're out here doing this, and you're just like,
Oh yeah, no. What I already scouted out and already was
Cuban
just-
cigars.
like that
you're like
information stuff.
clinking and clanking as you walk into the portal.
A big winter jacket.
Just Invader Zim overstuffed with organs. Thank you.
I wouldn't even say it was like that. It's just like kind of like just modeled walk out of here with like the files and stuff that he needed. Like he was just like, what the fuck are these two do? And you just hear, what are we doing, portal?
Yeah. Auf Wiedersehen.
Go.
All right, so I
call you
leave
when you're
the
needed.
illusion sword to them, and I bow, and I completely, definitely sell the the bluff and go through the portal.
I step out last on the off chance that some interdimensional interference causes the illusion to drop when I leave. So I will be last out just to buy us every last second. And then everything looks, I assume, like Cal's background.
Yeah. No, you step through the portal, and you immediately find yourselves standing in the ruins of the library that you had stepped through that touchstone. And
I'm running.
For a moment. Oh, yeah, that's fair. You take off full bore till you get somewhere safe. And for a moment, when you all catch your breath, you think we did it. We've saved the Sword of Damocles. We've won. And then the sinking realization that you just pissed off a fully realized draconic being creeps into you. And you spend the rest of that night, and likely the rest of what is promising to be your short ass lives, looking over your shoulder. But for
This
now,
did not dawn on me. I've been high noon sunbathing in this.
But for now,
Looks like we got away with it. Easy peasy.
you have won. congratulations on your success with Scion Live by the Blade. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns from our players this evening?
We succeeded. Nobody got hurt, and there are no consequences at all.
I'm blackmailing everybody. If I'm going down, we're all going down a popular ditch.
It's true. You did steal enough blackmail material. You might be able to keep yourself safe for a while. Like, hey,
I
Zeus,
wanna
can I
be
hide out on
clear.
Olympus? Because I got a lot of your back child support here on this roster.
Exactly.
We're not. It's not. I'm at danger. It's we're all at danger. This is a dead man switch. Keep me alive.
That's
Oof.
fair. That's fair. All right, cool. Well,
Capital O. Oof.
thank you all so much. I have greatly enjoyed running Scion Dragon with you all. I hope you've enjoyed playing it as much as I've enjoyed running it. We will be returning, this group will be returning in 2 weeks' time along with Haley for our session 0 of The World Below. So that should be fun. We were going to be doing character creation and we're going to be doing a campaign afterward.
Travis was talking about it like after session last time, and I'm like, well, that's what I want to do.
Cal, you
sold
played
the
The
hell
World
out of
Below,
it.
right?
Yeah, I did. There was some of magic shenanigans that seemed a little uh, um,
Was it more shenanigans than
nonsensical.
this?
Yes,
Some
much more shenanigasque, but at the same time also kind of like survival, which I liked
I like
more.
that.
Yes.
Like I really liked the, okay, you entered like this cave, this character rolls this. Oh, it looks like somebody was digging, like an old, like 200-year-old mine shafts, and it might like fall if there's like too much, like whatever. And then there's like well magic. But like well magic just kind of seems like it can do anything and everything, and it's OP. And if you're dumb if you don't take it.
Here's the
And I
thing.
didn't take any of that. I was like a mushroom collector.
But here's the thing.
So-
Anybody can do chaotic sorcery.
Right.
But if you're not a chaosist, it is incredibly dangerous.
Not everybody can do it well.
It doesn't mean doesn't mean you can't do amazing things with it, but without getting too far into the weeds, the closer you are to the well, the higher the chaos level is. For most characters, whenever you use your sorceries, you get a complication based on the chaos level. But
Well,
chaosists,
40K taught me
Right.
anything. That's a bad thing.
right? But chaosists get enhancements when they are closer to the well. So, I also my pet. They're my pet calling. I love chaosist, and my favorite player character that I've made for the World Below is a chaosist.
I should
as
have
well.
known.
So,
It's on brand.
but yeah, we will be returning in 2 weeks' time with session 0 of the World Below. I cannot wait to run it. It was a blast to work on, and I've not gotten to run nearly enough of it. So I am really looking forward to going on that journey
fix
with
that.
these folks. I would like to give everybody a brief opportunity to go ahead and say your goodbyes before we take off, and we'll do this in reverse order. So, Kevin, your pertinent details, please.
Kevin R. Zarnicki, he, him, resident voice actor, TTRPG developer, editor, consultant, occultist, you name it. Please pay me. Yes, you can find me on Twitter if you're still using Twitter on Necromancy 101. You can find me masquerading as a target card on Facebook. I'll have a website up soon. You can find me in all kinds of Shadowrun books, not a few Onyx Path books, and spread out across the industry, really. I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to reach out on email if you're interested in anything at kevin.r.zarnicki@gmail.com. Thank you so much for being with us today. What a blast. What a group. And a game is made of the people, and everybody here has just been such a treat. So yay. I hope I'm living up to just the standard you guys are setting. It's so good. Thank you.
Thank you, and likewise. And as much, I would like to say, as much fuckery and fun as we've been having with Dragon, I suspect our World Below campaign is probably going to get a little darker, which will also be fun with this group.
Oh no.
Can't wait.
Dark.
Next
No.
up, Crow, your pertinence, please.
Hi, I'm Corvus Crow, he, it. I am the mastermind behind Blank Slate, and Also, the Corvus Crow channel on YouTube and also Twitch. So Corvus Crow, I will be making content again very soon. You can also catch me again coming in 2 weeks with this group. Also, why did I blank out for like a buffer? I'm playing Nerds with Dice on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. and we are playing Monster of the Week. We are playing a Black History Month campaign that is basically in Living Single but with monsters.
Nice.
And I play kind of like a mage who does not like being called a wizard.
And what channel is that going to be on?
That's going to be with Nerds with Dice. That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Nice.
Also, I am one of the people helping with the why am I
Story
blanking
Path
out?
Nexus Game Jam.
Thank you. Story
It's
Path
late,
Nexus
that's why.
Game Jam.
I understand.
It is late. Past my bedtime. So please sign up for that. Actually do that. Participate. Also vote for it. We would love to see you. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be playing a lot of games and checking out some stuff. So yeah, you can find me everywhere else except Blue Sky because I still don't know how that works. All right, back to you, Bob.
You're free. You can just go sign up now. It's great. You're welcome to sign up for Blue Sky. It's open. They've opened the floodgates. Everybody can sign up. But even if that wasn't the case, all you had to do is ask. I had codes sitting around. I still have them. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them now that it's open.
I think I
Should have
signed up, but I
sold them
forgot
while
about
I
it.
could.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have sold them on eBay.
I should have. Drat.
People buy air guitars on eBay. You could have.
Valid. And last but not least, that brings us to Cal. Your pertinence, please.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name's Cal. Neo Cal on most places. Over at Dork Tales, Twitch and YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm in a few games there. One that I'm currently in is every Wednesday evening. Well, we're on a break right now, but normal schedule every Wednesday evening. Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages. Transylvania Chronicles, actually. Which is I think we're in 1198, which is when we're starting.
Nice.
So there's a fun next few hundred years will be seen there. If you like reviews of random TV shows, anime, movies, that kind of thing, you can find me at the Lasercomb podcast anywhere.
Ooh.
There's podcasts. The finished reboot podcast is alphanumeric with an exclamation mark at the end, the reboot podcast.
Nice.
And that we did that, a couple of years ago, where we just cover every episode of the original run of reboot. And Too Much Energon, which is a Beast Wars podcast. And it's been a lot of fun too. So yeah, Too Much Energon is ongoing. Come see us on Dork Tales, and yeah, you've all been really wonderful to play with.
Yeah.
I'm
Likewise.
glad I poked my head in. And
Likewise, I always have a blast playing with you, Cal, and I'm very sorry. See, I'm going to put the link to Dork Tales Patreon in the chat as well. You should go over and join the Patreon.
oh, thanks.
Because Cal and I were playing together in a wonderful Star Trek Adventures game.
Oh,
That is patrons only. I unfortunately had to go. Laldar has been called home to Ferenginar because I now attend the Monday meeting that you read about so much. And that unfortunately takes place when that game was happening. But I look forward to seeing what my former crewmates do as they continue to boldly go where no one has gone before. Or actually where everybody's gone before, because they're like third contact.
At least a few people. Yeah, we're third contact.
But yeah, go sign up for Dork Tales Patreon. In case you have not yet done so, get your shots, please. And take care of yourselves, one another, and we will see you real soon. Hang out. We will be rating not Dork Tales. We'll be rating Stolen Fires. So say hi to them, send them some love, and we will see you again soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.